Welcome to the Feminist TV show.
Thank you for joining us today on the Feminist TV show. Today in the studio, I have two successful women who would be educating us on the importance of the girl-child education. You know already, like Queen Rana of Jordan once said, I believe if you educate a girl child, you're empowering a nation. If really a girl child is the future of a nation, it is very, very important to then invest in the education of the girl child. Welcome Ms. Eniola Eden and Mrs. Judith Aldu. How are you guys today?
Very well, thank you.
Great.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for having me on the show.
There has been this long-term tradition that says that it is a waste of money and wealth to educate a girl child. What do you have to say about this?
Well, from my own point of view, I actually think that the people or the forces that has been behind the not educating a girl child, I think they're actually ignorant. Because why would you, even when God was going to create human race, he created Adam. Yes, fine, the first person. And then I thought Adam wouldn't be complete without a partner. He could have easily created another man, but he created a woman, a female gender, which means that a woman, as a woman complements a man, a woman has so many roles to play, and a girl grows up to become a woman. So really, why would you not want to empower a woman? Why would you not want to educate a girl that has this tendency of being a nation? And really, from what we can see right now, the girl is the future. A woman is the future. So why won't you want to educate your future, even as a man? Because the girl child is your future. So why wouldn't you want to educate your future?
I think for me, it actually makes no sense. It never did, and I don't think it ever will. Fortunately, I served in the North, and I have schools where I had people I was teaching. And that was when I actually really got the reality on ground about people not wanting girls educated, because it's something else when you are saying it and when you're actually in a space where it's happening. You have people coming to school, some actually already pregnant coming to school, and they're in school and then they're not serious, because then when you try to talk to them, they're like, it's a waste of time anyway, because when they get to a certain age, they have to leave school and get married, because it is their tradition, it is their belief. So they believe there's no point spending all that money on a female child, because at the end of the day, she's going to get married. She's going to drop her family name. She's going to take on a new name. So why waste money on that? It sounds from where I come from, it sounds, really weird and unheard of. But then again, when you take it back to where they are all coming from, when it all started, when they all started, life as a whole was about sustainability. Yeah. It was in the family. Nobody really went out to do anything. So there is the man, there is the woman, they all go to the farm. If the more children you give birth to, the better for you, because then you have a lot of people helping you at the farm and all that. And then all the woman does is take care of the home, take care of the children, cook, give birth to more children. That's just all she does, cook, clean, give birth to children. That's just all she does. But things have changed. Things have changed. Things are not the way they used to be anymore. These days, family are not, one person can't even sustain a family. It's no longer like the man has to be the only one working and then the woman needs to sit down. Everybody wants to work. Everybody has to work these days. Things are hard. Everybody needs to work. So it's funny when you hear people still saying it at this time, when we all know that things are not the way they used to be anymore. Things have changed. So everybody needs to be empowered. Everybody needs to be able to fend for themselves. Everybody needs to be independent. Everybody needs to be brought up in a way whereby they are independent and they can stand on their own. Be it a female child, be it a male child. I've never been someone that is gender sensitive. I believe everybody is a human first, and then you're a male or a female second. So I see you first as a human being, and then I see you as whatever gender you are, which is how everyone is supposed to start seeing people. So whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, you need to be educated. It's a given. It's your right. as a human being, when your parents give birth to you, that's the best thing they can give to you, to give you that platform, to give you that, that opportunity for you to spring forth from. Because then you have nothing. You have nothing to defend yourself. What if you get married to someone that starts molesting you and then you have to run away and then your parents die, blah, 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 long story. But you have nothing. And then you end up in prostitution because that seems like the only way out when you have nothing. So it's no excuse at all. Everyone needs education. And a female child, like you say, when you train a girl, you train a nation. It goes without saying. You can't even overemphasize that statement.
Mrs. Aldo, trust me, there are still some parts of the world in which this belief is still being practiced.
Oh, I know.
Yes, so what would you say to all those, what would you say to young girls who find themselves in such a situation? What would be your advice for them?
They should find a means out. There is always a way. We always say there is situations where there are always no way, but that's not true actually. There is always a way. When there is a will, there's a way. When you want something so badly, you'll find a way to make it happen. Sometimes, yes, you may not have money to be able to train yourself, to go to school and train yourself. But there are other things you could do. You could learn tailoring, you could learn hairdressing. Those are means of empowering yourself. And from there, you could actually now start making money that you can use to send yourself to school. It's never too late to go to school. It's never ever too late to go to school.
So, Mrs. Eniola, just try and imagine, just put yourself in such a position. Like, I want you to think about it. What if you weren't privileged to go to school? What if you weren't privileged to get education?
Wow. That's it.
Because I'm trying to think about it.
That's a huge one, because I cannot even imagine. I cannot even fathom not being educated, to be honest. I've come across really successful people in their individual fields. So a makeup artist, a fashion designer, and all of that. Believe me, there's still a gap that lack of education didn't bridge for them. So no matter how successful you are, there is still a gap. That the gap of lack of education, it's always there. So bringing it back to myself, bringing it back home, not being educated, I don't know what life would be without education. And this is being honest. I don't know what life would be. I don't even know what life would hold, or what life would have had in store for me without education. I probably would have been somewhere roaming around, or being someone's housemaid, or being someone's house help, or being an artisan or something, which is really great. But trust me, like Judith said earlier, that it is never too late to go to school, really. So it's okay for you to be very successful, but trust me, the bridge, the gap, it's a huge one. It's a wide one that, if no matter no amount of money can cover up for you. So for me, I would say that I don't even want to imagine it.
Yourself.
I don't even want to think about a life without education. I don't know how I would have survived. I do not know. I wasn't the brightest kid in class, trust me. I wasn't one of those children sitting in the front rows in the classroom and all of that. No, I was never one of those kids. But I just had it in me. I knew from get-go the importance of education. I was opportune to watch TV. I could see lawyers, I could see doctors, those were the celebrated, professions then. But trust me, you have the musicians now, you have the artists and all of those people doing really well. And trust me, without education, I don't even think they would go far as well. But there was a message, there was something. I wanted to be like those people. And I think that if anyone at that time had denied me the right of my dreams, coming into fruition, coming into fulfillment, I think I would have just gone to my grave with, yes, I would have gone to my grave with so much bitterness in me towards whoever it is that is going to stop my shine or stop me from being who I want to be. So my life without education, girl, it would never be.
Imagine that.
Right.
And to you, Mrs. Audu?
Funny enough, I have a different view when it comes to education. Sometimes I believe it's beyond the four walls of a school. Not everyone can have that opportunity to get into the four walls of a school. So if I had not had the opportunity to get into the four walls of a school, would I still be where I am today? I would say yes. I would say maybe even better, because I probably would have had a good head start, because as I said then, I would not have academics holding. Most times we always start with something else, and then we end up being something else. Like, I'm a filmmaker now. I didn't study that, so I spent probably 10 years of my life studying something else, because I have a degree and then I have a master's degree, training to be a diplomat, which I hope to still be. So if I were from a family that couldn't afford to go to school, or if I were from a family that did not believe a female child is supposed to go to school, I believe I would have been able to find a way to get to where I am. I know a lot of successful actresses and a lot of successful fashion designers that we know that had never been to school before. But you would never know. You would never know until they tell you that they've never been to a school. They never had the opportunity to go to schools. So I strongly believe, and I stand by it, that I believe is an excuse when people say it's because I'm not educated that I am not here or there. If you want something, like I said before, you will find a way. You will find a way. You find a way to move out of that place that you are in. You find a way to find how to put one and two together to get to where you want to be. It will not be easy. It's never easy. I don't think it's even easy for us that went to school, and it probably would be more harder for them that didn't even go to school, because then they need to prove themselves even more. But if they want it badly, again, they will find a way.
Talking about the girl child education, you're saying if you want something, you would find a way. Are you saying an 8-year-old girl, a 10-year-old girl who doesn't have the privilege to go to school would find a way? Yes. How would she do that?
Yes, because I've met a lot of kids. I've met a lot of very young kids. Like she said, that she probably be a house girl. I've met a lot of people that they give out to start doing maids at that age. In fact, at that age in the north, they are married with kids, actually, sometimes at that age, as 8. As young as that. I had people in my classroom at that age that were already married out. Wow. So yes, at 8 in a place like that, those people are already women. They're not girls anymore. They're women. So most of them run away. Most of them form like a bond and do something. But if they want it, yes, at 8, they're really young. They may not even know what to do, because then they're very vulnerable. They're highly vulnerable. So it has to be when they're like 10, 11, 15. Then they're like old enough to take responsibilities, to probably leave where they are and move to somewhere else to do something. But then I go back to, it's never too late. You're never too old to get what you want. At 8, you don't know what you want. Let's be sincere with ourselves. You don't know what you want. You don't even know what life has for you, So it's when you start getting, because they usually get happy. It's these days they are now getting educated and enlightened to know that you're too young. You're still a child. You should enjoy being a child, because then you get old and then you realize you never had a childhood. Because your childhood you became an adult too soon. So you don't even know what it means to be a child. So how are you supposed to raise a child? Because you don't even know what it means to be a child. So a lot of all these things, so it's different when you're saying, will an 8-year-old girl be young enough to know what she wants? Of course, she doesn't know what she wants at that age. She has to be of age to know what she wants, and that's like 15, 16. And then she can now decide, is this who I want to be? Who do I want to be? And when she has realized who she wants to be, even if it's at 20, she can now take that step and start working towards, do I want to be a doctor? Do I want to be an architect? Do I want to be a pilot? Do I want to be a fashion designer? Do I want to be an actor? And at that age, she can now decide and take the right step to form, whatever she wants to do.
Thank you for that, Mrs. Audu. So, Ms. Seniola, do you think without education there would be another form of women empowerment?
Yes, there will be. But then again, I would like to go back to the question you asked Judith
Okay.
about an 8-year-old. How does she make decisions on her own?
On her own.
How does she really decide to want to go to school? I seriously think that is why parenting, it's really key. You really need to start from the parents. And for it's never too late as well. It's never too late to go to school. It's never too late to actually take responsibility of your life and be accountable of your life. And for that. But I also strongly believe and I also strongly think that the word should be out there for parents. It's very important. It's a gift. So I have a cousin. I have a cousin, my uncle actually, and he says to his children, because they all schooled in London, in the UK and all, and he says to them all the time, let none of you come back home with the hope of having anything in terms of property. I don't have anything to give to you. The only form, the best legacy that I can ever give to you or leave behind is what I have suffered to give to you, because your mom is late. I've sent you to the best schools. I've given you the best of the best form of education, and that's all I owe you. So I think that we need more parents to be like that. It's not about the property. It's not about the fancy stuff. It's about the basic and the most important thing that you can give to these people. Yes, empowerment comes along the way. They'll get enlightened. But I think that it's very important because for instance, I just woke up one day some months back and I said to myself, I want to go to a finishing school. I want to learn how to speak properly. I want to learn how to eat properly. I want to learn how to do things in the right way. Because I think that in terms of manners, maybe I didn't really get that. My mom wasn't educated. She's tried to give me education, but she was not educated. So I didn't get some basic stuff. And whether we like it or not, those things, when we get them at a really tender age or a young age, it shapes our being. It shapes our mindset. It shapes our perception. It shapes us. It shapes who we are. It shapes the society. So I really think that parenting is key. The parents, they need to be aware of this stuff. Right, the Big Sister Initiative was actually founded because we thought, okay, yes, these children, they go to school. And there's a lot of NGOs and different stuff out there trying to empower women, trying to make women a better people, better versions of themselves, and all of that. What happened to the girl child? You know, there's some basic things that are not even taught in the four walls of a school, to be honest, because that's not the beginning and end of education. You can self-teach yourself. You can do different things, but there's still some things, there's some values, there's some societal values that these children, these girls, they were not taught in the classroom. And we somehow, somewhat, we have experienced those things. How about pass the knowledge, the information down to the adolescent girl, to the girl child? So we just formed that and we started going to NGOs. We talk to these girls. You know, we play games with them, we interact. There's an open line, you know, there's a blog as well where we actually relay our life messages, how, you know, the sort of friends we had kept earlier, how they impacted our lives, this. So it's just, you know, preparing them for what is out there and the different stages and the different lessons of growth, of going into a woman. So I think that should also, I remember when we were growing up in school then, social studies, they teach us about family, a mother, a father,
Yeah.
you know. I actually think that they can flip that around and then say there's some societal values that, you know, you need to have as a girl, as a lady, as a woman, you know, and then we can teach you. So I think they can incorporate some sort of, you know, society or morals. There's so many things I think they can actually teach in schools that it's not really your physics, your mathematics. I never liked mathematics. and all those stuff. So I think there are loads of stuff that can enlighten, empower, and then educate them. That has nothing to do with English language, Bible study, physics, mathematics, and all of that. That's my take.
Thank you.
The Feminist TV show is brought to you by Voice of the Black Children in